I'd like to talk about resistance to one's destiny. Years ago, I got this hit for years. Well, for a year straight. Almost every day it was like this poke, this energetic little nod. And this voice kept saying, make videos, make videos, make videos. And I didn't. And then finally one day I did. And then for years, I made videos on Instagram. And a lot of people were served by that. But then 2020 rolled around and my flavor of directness and truth was not necessarily well received. So I took it as an opportunity to pull back and to just live my beautiful life. I mean, I've had quite a few struggles, but they've been mainly internal. And lately, that voice is speaking again. Do you have that voice? Because if you have it, and I'm sure you do, because we all do, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So it starts as this whisper that reminds you of something that you're actually supposed to be doing. And it's usually not exactly the thing that you feel most comfortable doing. I wish the voice was whispering, as I thought it was, that I needed to create art, right? Because that's my true passion. That's where time stops for me. It's like the world ceases to exist when I paint. I have to set timers to remind myself to stop. It's like that. Like I won't eat. I'll make like a beautiful coffee, like tea or coffee, and it will sit there and I won't even drink it. I will forget about it while I'm painting. And so it's like, oh, well, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, yeah, but then there's like this little voice. And it's like, make a podcast. And I'm like, yeah, one day. And then it keeps saying it. And then it's a voice, like a regular speaking voice. And then shit starts to fucking fall apart, right? It's like when you don't listen to that voice, when I don't listen, and from what I've witnessed, when others don't listen to that voice, it's like the entire reality conspires to get you on track and make all other options sort of cease to exist. Like everything just falls apart. You'll start this thing because you think that's the thing, because it's the easier thing, or it's like the thing your ego wants, or your, this idea that you had for your life. And then you give it your all and you keep pushing and pushing and it just won't go, or it falls apart as soon as, or just like the people involved, move away or whatever it is. And so anyway, for me, making this video, like a lot has brought me to this moment to be sitting here. And I know that once I open the floodgates, that there will be so much to share because I've gone deep, like deep, and I have a lot to share. And every night for the past, I don't know, maybe month, I think of all the things that I want to share and the important things, but then there's so many things that I learn every day and data points that I pick up that I tell myself the story that if I start now, it's not even going to make sense. There's so much backstory, or like who's even going to get what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? And whatever the excuse is, at a certain point you have to oblige. And I guess you don't, but I'll tell you this kind of dark thought that I've had a few times. It's fucking dark, man. But it's like if I don't do it, I'll die. And I don't mean that in like I will wither away inside. I mean, if I don't do what I came here to do, what I signed up to do, that at some level I will take myself out, because I have this idea. I've heard it said before that when somebody dies and it seems unexpected, it's because that person got too far off track to actually accomplish what it is that they came here to do. I don't know what you subscribe to. I don't really believe in accidents. I believe that the whole thing is just beautifully orchestrated and that we are here and we do have the free will to do or to not do. But sometimes you can get so far off track that there's no way of getting back on. So that being said, if you're still here, by that logic, that would mean that you are still able to get back on track, right? Excuse me for a moment. I need my matcha. So, okay, where are we going to go with this? Nothing is premeditated right before I finally sat to make this video. And I really pray, hope, I shouldn't use those words, that I actually follow through with it and that I put this video up. But it was right before. When I made the decision, I was in my bathroom and I was like, okay, what am I going to talk about? Oh, resistance is the perfect place to start because that's the very thing that I'm up against, right? And it's like the joy and the sense of fulfillment that results from actually taking a step in the direction of one's destiny. I would say there is no better feeling. And again, it's like once you start, that flow can then begin. Consistency is important. And there's so many things that I'm aiming to do that I think in my mind are the right next steps to do. But that voice within, it knows better. It really does. I don't even know if I want to call it intuition because I believe that intuition is a language. I don't believe that intuition, well, I do believe. What does that even mean? I can't get stuck on words or I'm never going to get this out. So I'm just going to say shit and it's not exactly perfect because language is so limited. But how do I move forward with this? There is just no better feeling. And when you start, the energy that pushes you, that's behind you, is unmistakable. It's like there's a realm of unseen forces that are conspiring to your aid. And I have this other thought. Sorry, I kind of got off track from what I was saying before, but let's just go with it, yeah? I have this thought that my life is somehow not just my life. And maybe it is. But sometimes I like to think that, and I feel that before coming here, there was like a team that I assembled. And I was like, okay, I'm going to volunteer to be the one that goes down, right? And I'm going to remember as quickly as I can that you're there. And then, I'm going to work with you and I'm going to do this thing. And it's like, it's not just my life. This life feels that like it's shared by many. And that reminds me of this really cool, crazy fucking story. This friend of mine did DMT. And in his journey, I'm going to have to interview him. In his journey, he was the conscience of like a 20-something-year-old woman for her life. I mean, when he came into her consciousness or whatever it was, she was already in her 20s, so I guess it wasn't her entire life. And maybe it wasn't the entirety of it, right? But it was for a really long time. So what seemed like, well, what was in actuality in this realm, only 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it was, for him at that time was a lifetime. And he was inside of her head helping her make decisions. Yes, no, go that way, don't go that way. And he remembers it vividly. And I have so many theories that I've been developing. It's actually really just one theory about all that, but we'll save that for another time. So it's like, it feels like sometimes there are these other beings at the helm or that are there, right there with me. And it's just as important to them that I succeed and that I follow through and that I do the thing. And so much of me does not want to do this, does not want to put my face out there, does not want to really say and share these deepest truths. It's like I would rather just be chilling with nature and the dogs and the plants. And it's a true joy for me. And there's a soul contract that I feel. And I feel like I made it. And that reminds me of my own first DMT journey years ago on the 5. I renegotiated my soul contract. I remember it so clearly. I went in and there was a panel and they said that I was signed up for 100% devotion to God. And I said, that's too much. It's too much. Like I can't live my life. Like I'm so obsessed with consciousness and evolution and expansion that I don't have a boyfriend and I don't have children and I don't have anything. And it's like, I need some balance. And they were like, let's see if we can renegotiate this thing. Anyway, it was a trip. It was a trip. And it's like, I don't get to just cut out. So it's like I was given nature. Nature found me again and pulled me in like 5.5 years ago now. And it's like, I just want to get lost in nature, but I don't really have any friends left. I've pushed them all away. But this remains, this thought, this knowing that I'm here to guide. There's no mistake that I've spent my entire life, and most of my days, I spend my days contemplating, listening, gathering data, putting it all together. But it's like, then what? Then it's like some say that it doesn't matter if you ever share it. The fact that you bring it through in the material realm is enough, but it doesn't feel the same. On top of which, there are people who actually ask me, who reach out to ask me questions still, even though I haven't made videos in years. They still, like, I have a Telegram channel and I share there, and maybe that's where you came from. But we all have our thing that we're here to do, and it's like I'm reminded more recently that this is it. This is fucking it, man. It's like, this is the moment that we were all created for. Every moment, I suppose, is. But this one feels real juicy. I mean, and you know, I think my greatest gift right now is that I'm not afraid anymore. Like a few years ago I was, and I was up in arms about all this shit, all this insanity that we're experiencing. And I pushed through that and I came to some other place. And that place is one where I'm able to literally just listen to things without them. I don't allow them to imprint me. I mean, they must to some degree, but I'm just listening and gathering data points. That's it. Sometimes I watch Netflix and I watch dumb shit. I watch shit that is so obviously like corrupt and, you know, has an agenda, and it's so clear. My God, when you watch any show, just like pick a show, all of it, it's all programming. And I don't even hate it. I'm just like, that's cool. Like, there's always some little nugget There's always some way that the unseen realms are communicating. And because I have it on, they use that as a tool. And it's not even what's being said. It's almost like background noise for me more often than anything. But back to the destiny and the resistance. I mean, it's the war of art, man, right? It's like, you got to show up. Why is it that I keep thinking that this HBOA system, while it's so important, because what it is a translation tool for the divine, right? For your divine, for your highest available source. But why is it that fucking thing won't birth? It's like stuck in the birth canal, man. And I cannot push that baby through. And there's gotta be a good reason for it, even though it's 10 years deep. I mean, I just can't see it from where I am. But then there's something else that I could do that might just happen so quickly. Like Kara and I opened the Cosmic Lab in town. And it's like that thing, like I blinked twice and opened my eyes and we had a full-on lab, in town, filled with things. I mean, it took a lot of work, but some things just manifest. And I keep thinking it's my fault, that I'm not pushing hard enough, that I'm not showing up. And that's fucking bullshit. Because I show up every day. Like I show the fuck up for consciousness and whatever it is that I'm here to do. Some days I feel like I really know what that is, and there are other days that I do not. I once recently got this very interesting hit through HBOA and all this testing, that I was here to teach immortality. And that makes so much sense, because understanding the lay of the land in the unseen realms, and all I do is question that and meditate on that. And I don't really meditate because I can't really do that for too long. I mean, I can, I just don't like it. I feel like I'm in a constant meditation. The unseen realms and where we actually are, the nature of reality, and what happens after this. I feel like I'm here to usher, it's like I have these memories of how to get out. Not that I don't love it, because I fucking love it. I love being alive. I love being here. I've been here a lot of times. I feel like that. Or, I don't know, maybe it's just like an ancestral DNA thing. Who knows? But I do feel connected and in love with this earth, and especially her creatures. I love her creatures. And I also feel like for as long as I can remember, I've had this pre-life memory of being asked to come back and being like fucking hooing and hawing. Like, it's that scene, and it always comes back to me, that scene in The Fifth Element when Bruce Willis is asked to go and like find Lilu or whatever. I haven't seen it in so long. What a great movie. I need to rewatch that. That in that scene where they come and he's like retired and kind of like grumpy and like alone, like I felt like that was me. And it was like, no, you got to go back and get your peeps and show them, whoever is ready to hear it, because there's this incredible opportunity right now. This portal, I don't even know if it's a thinning of the veil as much as it is like a complete release of the veil. I don't know. I mean, I do know, but for the sake of this conversation, I don't know. Conversation, this monologue. Dude, I could talk forever. I'm pretty much by myself and talk to dogs all day, so thinking about all these crazy things. And like I said, I don't really have so many friends anymore to call. It seems to be a part of the thing, the change. Don't regret any of it either, interestingly. I don't know. Sometimes I think this is just a phase and it'll pass. And there are other times that I think and feel that it's not. and that's okay. Like, I'm really great. I'm great. I can't even imagine sharing, I don't know, sharing my life, because it's filled with so much connection to creatures and nature and art and thought and just, yeah, general creation. I don't know where anyone would fit into that. Maybe that's why all the friends had to go away. But this is me showing up with a very random first, I don't know what this is. My plan is to do this with regularity and consistently, so that I don't develop this like epiphany constipation, because I get them all the time and I connect dots all the time, and it's just time to share them in real time. So much time. It's funny because time is like ceasing to exist, it seems. It seems like that's where we're really headed. If I were to name the veil that was dropping, it would probably be time. It's weird. Like, I don't often, honestly, I don't even know what month it is. That's crazy. And I have to remind myself and look it up on my iPhone. And then I'm reminded, but I'm like, wait, what day of the week is it? What time of the day is it? Like, yeah, wild. Speaking of time, sidereal time is at 9:04 p.m. today. I think I looked that up super randomly today, but sidereal time, the 1330 LST, I think it is, time is this really magical moment for meditation. Maybe that's why I'm making this video right now. Awesome. Because it's about that time. That's the other weird thing, is like nighttime seems to be when I turn on now. It used to be very much the opposite. It was like up at dawn all day long, and then night I could barely keep my eyes open. And now it's like 9 p.m. rolls around and I can finally think. It's like all the humans have finally started to shut themselves down so I can like get in that field. Oh my God, dude, I have so much shit to share. The fields. I mean, I'm learning so much. And what I really would like to share most with you is not just like, you know, my amalgamation of studies, but when I do meditate, or when I do intentionally sit to receive and commune with myself. Let's be clear, I'm not really big on receiving information from other beings, for good reason. I've had plenty of experience with that. But when I do sit to have a conversation with the observer aspect of myself, I can get some really interesting information that I've never heard anywhere else. I think it makes it easier for that version of myself to communicate with me when I have all that data, you know what I'm saying? So that's like another reason for picking up all this stuff. But that direct connection is unlike any other. And so yeah, I plan to share that stuff too. I think I've just been waiting for like, yeah, just the floodgate to open. It's like breaking the seal. And now all the magic rainbows can come through. And that'll feel good because, like I said, I spend a lot of time alone. So, I mean, I don't really know how to engage you. I'm not really going to try, but I am going to say, like, what is that voice saying to you? Do you know? Do you hear it? What's that thing? Is it like, and what volume level is it at? Is it at still a low volume, or is it getting pretty high? And like, have you had shit start to fall apart? Are you getting the hit that there's something completely different that you're supposed to be doing that you've never even considered? Because that's been happening to me. So I'm curious. I'm actually curious because the people that will even bother to listen to this are meant to hear it. And there's a reason that you're hearing me say this. And there's a reason that you're attracted to the way that I communicate and the messages that I share. So tell me, what's your jams? How you feeling? What you doing? Are you doing the thing? Can I serve you? Can I help you do that thing somehow? I don't know. Maybe just by like airing it out. Air that thing out. Because when you get it out and you put it out and you say the thing, you open up some, I don't know, it's just bringing it into the field. It's just like another form of birth. It's another way of, it's another way of jump-starting that thing. And even if it's not the ultimate thing, you're being guided to do that thing so that you can then get to the thing. Whatever the thing is. And it's like just like a series of things. It's like all life is. It's just like a fucking series of things, choices to choose different things. So do your thing, right? Because there's something you're here to do that nobody else can. I've been saying that since like 2002. I don't know if you remember my website, any of you. It had this great introduction. I think it was like on a KRS-One soundtrack. And I had it going over a Mozart piece that I loved. And I had a friend actually, like superimpose that. And it was amazing. It's like, I'm not going to try to tell you what you're here to do. But it was amazing. I can't remember it. I mean, it'll come back to me, but I won't bore you with the moment of my trying to recollect that memory. Okay, that's it. Now I'm just rambling about nothing. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Maybe I put this on YouTube. I don't even know where it goes. We'll see. I'll test it. And man, let's do this thing. I don't know what this thing is, but there's a lot of talks I have with some people. That's really where it's going. It's not only just me sharing. Sorry, I forgot to say that. I actually have all these amazing acquaintances, friends from previous lives that are doing incredible things, that have amazing ways of looking at things, and a few close friends still. And we've already recorded a few. So once I figure out where this is going, I will put it up somewhere. All of them. The Morgellons one is crazy, dude. We already did that. My friend Caitlin. What the fuck? It's so crazy. There's so many crazy things you need to know about that are going on in this world, and I actually find it all very exciting. Okay, that's it. I sign off. Toodles. Much love to you. Oh wait, this is my thing, right? I do this.